Hey guys, how are you? So today I pulled out three cards for the collective. I got number 36, which is called uniqueness, number 30, which is called mask, and number 29, which is called compromise. And I feel like today's message is for a very specific group from the ages of 29 to 36. So we're going to get into it. So I'm going to be reading what card 36, called uniqueness, is talking about. At the end of this journey, you have realized that there can be no sharp decision between good and evil, positive and negative, action and inaction, feminine and masculine. Each of us should work to achieve our own well-being, which is individual and subjective. If we are not able to feel good about ourselves, if we do not know ourselves deeply, and if we are not able to do something for ourselves, it will be extremely difficult to harmonize our individualities, and we will be in constant search of approval of others or of someone or something that completes us. We must celebrate the maiden as well as the wolf and allow them to coexist. In an increasingly uniform world, reflect on what your peculiarities are and how they can make you stand out uniquely. Immediately, when I read this card, I thought about gender wars and I thought about politics. And I've been thinking about it for a few days, and I told myself that I'm not going to give into extremes anymore. Because I feel like when you go to one extreme, these people from the other side suffer, and then when you go to another extreme, these people from that another side suffer. And it's like this mentality that if I can't have this, you can't have that. And it's just dumb and immature. And I feel like we need to stop giving into these extremes, picking sides, and just focus on ourselves, to be honest, and pour into ourselves and not give in to these people. Because, for example, my opinion, I feel like, for women, women have always had power. I feel like just people around them had created illusions for them that they don't. And then it creates some frustration amongst women, and they focus on that and they give that power when they could just pour into themselves and create the reality that they want to live for themselves. They have the entire power. That's what people in control like to do. They like to create illusions, and they like to create this like hopelessness amongst people. And it's not just with women, they do it with men as well. They do it with race. And I think we should stop giving into it and just focus on what makes us unique and what makes us different, and find ways to like bring it into the 3D reality, like I was speaking about on the last episode, and find a way to monetize off of it and move on with our lives in a way. Because these people in control, what they want to do is they want us to regress, they want us to go back, they want us to be in conflict with each other over some dumb stuff. Like, I'm not going to say dumb stuff because I feel like these things are human rights, but it's to distract us from the things that really matter in this life. And it's a technique that we all learned in school, divide and conquer. That's what they're doing to us. And we need to open our eyes and become aware that they are doing this. We need to become the observers, and we need to stop reacting to these people. And we need to take our focus and take our power back and pour it into ourselves so that we can do something for ourselves. We can create something for ourselves and we can move forward. If everybody focuses on themselves and they pour into themselves, what do you think is going to happen? I think eventually we're going to progress and we're going to move forward versus, fighting each other and believing that this person is my enemy. But from like a national, global perspective, do these people really affect you in your day to day life? No. So what they do is that they cause these like mental they cause us to have like these mental limitations, like to feel hopeless, and then next thing you know, we're stagnant and we're not doing anything with our lives, and we're frustrated and we're depressed and we're bored and we're anxious, having anxiety. So, yeah, with card number 36, this is what I got. Like, don't give in to the extremes, okay? See people for who they are as individuals, and you see yourself for who you are as an individual. Embrace what makes you unique, okay? If you don't embrace what makes you unique, how are you supposed to embrace, like, other people? You know, if you can't pour into yourself, how are you supposed to help out other people and pour into other people? You know, so that's what I got with card number 36. And card number 30 goes into this. So card 30 is called mask. Who are we when we show ourselves to others? How much of what we have inside and our personality shines through? And how much are we hiding? In environments where we feel the need to protect ourselves, we often wear a mask in order to feel part of the place or the people who are hosting us. We have to reflect on why we wear it, whether it is really necessary, or whether we are afraid that by revealing our authenticity, we would no longer be accepted. This card asks us whether it is really worth it, whether in the context it is right to preserve ourselves by playing a role that is not quite our own, or whether we should open up to our uniqueness and stop showing only one side of the coin. So card 30, Mask, is definitely talking about being your authentic self. And it's really important to be your authentic self during this time because when you are authentic, nobody can tell you what you are or what you're not. Nobody knows you better than yourself, okay? And it's important to be your authentic self because when you are your authentic self, people can't easily manipulate you or control you. And they try to do that. They try to do that. They try to make you feel crazy. They try to make you feel like you don't belong. Don't fall into that, okay? You do belong. You are special. You are unique, right? But you need to embrace your uniqueness, okay? You need to be yourself. It's really hard in this modern world because, you know, the workplace, the toxicity in the workplace, toxicity within your family, right? Toxicity amongst society, right? But you can't let that get to you because it stops you from being your life purpose and doing what you're supposed to do. You know, and this card also talks about how do you show yourself to the world? How do you show yourself to people? And we all do this, right? We all wear masks. We all present ourselves in a way that we believe will help us survive and help us be accepted. But what happens when you do that is that you lose your identity and you lose your personal power when you do that. You don't have to wear a mask, okay? You don't have to present yourself in a certain way where you feel like people will accept you because how many times have you done that and people have rejected you? People have messed with you. Be your authentic self. You don't have to wear a mask. You don't have to smile when you don't want to smile, laugh when you don't want to laugh, okay? If you want to cry, you can cry. You can express your emotions instead of having to push it down and, you know, be the tough one. I also believe that people are multifaceted. Like when I think of people, I think of diamonds, right? I forgot what this is called, but when the jeweler, right, shapes the diamond, there's multiple sides to the diamond. And that's okay. There can be multiple sides to you as a person because humanity, you as a human, you are multifaceted. But people expect you to just be one side of a coin. What happens when they do that? When they project that onto you. You limit yourself. This is why you need to be your authentic self and you need to embrace the different sides of you so you can be that diamond, okay? Not so you can be that diamond, you are that diamond. Okay, people are multifaceted. There's more to people than what meets the surface, and there's more to you than what meets the surface. And that's what I believe card number 30 is speaking about and is calling you to do. Embrace the multiple sides of you, okay? Because you are multifaceted, okay? You are meant to be multifaceted. You aren't meant to be limited to one side. Okay, just be one side of a coin. Card number 29 is called compromise. Within ourselves, but not only, we can finally find a compromise, a peaceful agreement, the ability to be comfortable with what we have by staying in the middle, embracing the other person or ourselves, and finding a meeting point where we can understand each other, trying to mediate between our needs and those that the environment or the people around us ask us to satisfy. This is a peaceful card, which suggests letting events flow without creating unnecessary blockages, and manifests the importance of listening to other people without feeling the need to interrupt them, to have or say. We need to shy away from excess. Everything must be liquid and soft. One has to learn to let things roll off one's back, not by being alert, but by breathing slowly to achieve calmness. So when I read this card, it reminded me of what I was speaking before with, card uniqueness and the card mask. When you realize that people are multifaceted, right? And you realize that you are multifaceted, right? You can't be restrained. You can't be put in a box. You can't be manipulated and you can't be controlled. Okay? What these people are doing, like what I said with the gender wars and the politics, is that they're trying to control you. They're doing the divide and conquer. Alright, this person's different from you, this person's your enemy. In reality, a person being different from you doesn't make them your enemy. If anything, if you have a weakness and you get together with this person, you might realize that that person, your weakness is their strength, right? And when you look at things from that perspective, you guys can work together and achieve something, right? So I feel like today's reading, talking about not giving into extremes, right? Not giving into the illusions that these people are putting out. No matter your race, no matter your gender, no matter your sexuality, you need to open your eyes and realize that you have always had the power, okay? You have power. You have sovereignty. You have free will. And what you need to do is give into the duality, give into the yin yang, all right? Alchemize what's going on with this world and turn it into something good, something positive. Whether it's, I'm going to reclaim my power. I'm not going to allow these people to believe that they have power over me, right? That's what I mean by alchemize. But don't internalize it. Don't make it personal because that's what they want you to do. They want you to take it personally. They want you guys to internalize it so that you can see your neighbor as the enemy, right? And the neighbor's not the enemy, okay? These people in control, these people in power, they are the enemy. No matter which political identity you have, no matter your gender, no matter your sexuality, these people want to control all of us, all right? They steal from all of us. But how do they do it? Because we tend to internalize things and personalize things, and we allow it to affect us. We give them our focus, we give them our power, and then when we come to see we have done nothing with our lives except be angry and bitter. So take that power back, take your focus back, give it to yourself, and in a way, be understanding with other human beings. You don't have to agree with everything that they say, but you also don't have to be full-fledged war with them. Okay? You can be different and have disagreements and still get along. But also, this card is talking about a war within yourself. You don't have to criticize yourself when you're feeling down, when you're feeling negative emotions. That's part of the human experience. You are human. Embrace all of your sides. Embrace all of your sides. Embrace your sensitive sides. Embrace your powerful sides. You guys might be like, what the heck are you talking about? But embrace your strengths and your weaknesses. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, because you are multifaceted. You are more than what meets the eye. And other people are multifaceted and they are more than what meets the eye. But when you give in to these illusions and these power plays, you don't grow in life. You don't mature. Okay? Some of these people, they need to grow up and they need to mature. Like, move on, grow up. Grow the heck up. Okay? We are adults. Don't be an NPC. Okay? Embrace yourself. Walk in your authenticity. See how you can grow in your day-to-day life and allow other people to do the same. Now, don't allow people to walk over you. Don't allow people to walk over you, hurt you, harm you, disrespect you. But that's it. That's all I gotta say.